Hello and welcome to Nana's Crafty Home. My name is Tanya. Today's tutorial is going to show you how to complete the Candy Kisses triangle scarf that you can find as a free pattern on my website. This is a lot of fun to make. It is made with a fantastic yarn. It's the Red Heart Unforgettable line. And the color that I used for my original pattern is Candied. The yarn I'm going to use, the color I'm going to use today for my tutorial is Heirloom. But this is a fun yarn. It has wonderful drape. It's great for scarves, wraps, those types of things. But this is a lot of fun to design. So let's go ahead and get started. You're going to need a size J hook. I have my clover hook here, size J, 6.0 millimeter. And this is a nice repetitive pattern. You're going to enjoy this because once you learn the repetition, it's going to be easy for you to just skate along on this one. And we're going to start with chain 4. And this chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, this chain 4 is going to count as my first double crochet plus a chain 1. We're going to go ahead and double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that furthest chain from my hook, and double crochet in there. Then I'm going to chain 2, double crochet in the same chain space, chain 1, and then double crochet in the same space. So this is my first row. So what I have here is that chain 4, which counts as my first double crochet plus my chain 1, another double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. And I'm going to be referring to these double crochet, chain 1, double crochets in the same space as a V-stitch throughout. So you're going to be doing a V-stitch pattern for this. That chain 2 in the middle is going to be the center of your scarf. So go ahead and turn, and we're going to do a chain 1, single crochet in the same stitch. So at the base of that, just go ahead and do a single crochet. Then I'm going to, and remember this is a chain space, so I'm going to do a single crochet, a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and a single crochet in that, all in that same chain 1 space. And then I'm at my chain 2 corner space, and in that chain 2 space I'm going to do another single crochet, chain 3, and then a single crochet in that same chain 2 space, and then do another in this chain 1 space, do another single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in that same space, and then at the top of that first double crochet is actually that chain 3 that was at the beginning. I'm going to do a single crochet. So for that second row, I've done a single crochet in the first stitch, a single crochet, chain 3, and a single crochet in that first chain 1 space. I've done a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the chain 2 space, and then in the next chain 1, a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in that one, and then at the top of that chain 3, or that that first chain 4 that we did counted as my first stitch plus a chain 1, I did a single crochet at the top of that in my last stitch. So go ahead and turn, and we're working on row 3 now. I'm going to do a chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and again that chain 4 is going to count as my first stitch, my first double crochet plus a chain 1, and I'm going to do a double crochet in the same stitch. So at the very base of that I'm going to do another double crochet. So that's a V-stitch right there. Then in the next chain 3 space, I'm going to do, well, first of all, I'm going to do a chain 1, and then I'm going to do a V-stitch in that next chain 3 space. And that V-stitch, remember, is the double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. Then I've reached the corner chain 3 space here. I'm going to do a chain 1 first, and then a V-stitch. So a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet for my first V-stitch, a chain 2, and then another V-stitch in that same chain 3 space. So a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, all in that same corner chain 3 space. I've done a V-stitch, chain 2, and a V-stitch. Chain 1, another V-stitch in that next. So we're skipping over everything and really only working in those chain 3 spaces from the previous row. So a V-stitch again is a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet, chain 1, and then in my last stitch I'm going to do another V-stitch. So a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. So there we have it. This is a V-stitch, chain 1, V-stitch in the chain 3, in the chain 2 corner, V-stitch, chain 2, V-stitch, chain 1, in the next chain 3, another V-stitch, chain 1, and a V-stitch in the last stitch. Alright, so we are working in row 4, and we're going to go ahead and do a chain 1. I'm going to do a single crochet in the very first stitch in that same stitch. In that next chain 1 space between the V-stitch there of my last row, I'm going to do a single crochet, chain 3, and a single crochet. Then in the chain 1 space between the V-stitches, I'm going to do 1 single crochet. In between the next V-stitch, I'm going to work a single crochet, chain 3, and a single crochet. In between the next V-stitch there, I'm going to do another single crochet, V-stitch, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. In this chain 2 space, I'm going to work a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. In the V-stitch there, I'm going to work a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. In between the V-stitches in that chain 1 space, 1 single crochet. In between the V-stitch there, single crochet, 3 chains, and a single crochet. In between the V-stitches, 1 single crochet. In my last V-stitch, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, and a single crochet in my last stitch, which is the top of that chain 3. All right. So essentially what you're doing is in between every V-stitch. So in that chain 1 space between the V-stitches, you're doing 1 single crochet. In the middle of the V-stitch, in that chain 1 space inside the V-stitch, you're working a single crochet and a chain 3. And at the beginning of your row, you're putting a single crochet in the same space and in your last stitch. So row 5, go ahead and turn, chain 4, double crochet in the same stitch, chain 1, V-stitch in the next chain 3 space, and you're going to repeat this. Chain 1, V-stitch in the next chain 3, chain 1, V-stitch in the next 3, chain 3, chain 1, V-stitch in the next chain 3, but this is my center, so I'm going to do a V-stitch, chain 2, and another V-stitch in the same chain 3 space, chain 1, V-stitch in the next chain 3, chain 1, V-stitch in the next chain 3, chain 1, V-stitch in the next chain 3, chain 1, V-stitch in your last stitch. All right, so what we have here, and these last 2 rows are going to be your repetition. So that row that we just did, when you first start out, you're going to do your chain 4, double crochet in the same stitch, which is going to make a V-stitch here. Chain 1 in between each V-stitch, V-stitch in each chain 3 with a chain 1 in between. You get to your center chain 3 space and you do a V-stitch, chain 2, and a V-stitch, and then along this side the same thing. Chain 1, V-stitch, chain 1, V-stitch in each chain 3 space from the previous row, V-stitch, chain 1, and a V-stitch in your last stitch. So you're going to repeat those last 2 rows until you get to your desired size. I used 2 full balls of yarn to complete this one, which makes it a pretty good size triangle scarf. You could certainly stop at 1 and see if that worked for you. You don't need a whole lot of yarn left for the edging because it's just a really simple chain 6 around and a single crochet. You're going to want to end on a row, a chain 3 row. So when you're working these chain 3s, that's going to be the last repetition that you're going to do before you do your edging. So go ahead and we'll do one more round here of that chain 3 so you can see that. So chain 1, single crochet in the same, single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet in that first chain 1 space, single crochet in the chain 1 space between the V-stitches. Inside that V-stitch we're going to do a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, 1 single crochet in between, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in that next chain 1, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 2 space, chain 3, single crochet, again, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, 1 single crochet in the next chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, 1 single crochet in between, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 1, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the last stitch. And that would be where you would want to end off before you did your edging. That would be your last row. All right, so go ahead and chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, double crochet in the same stitch, chain 1, V-stitch in the next, chain 3, 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 chain 1, V-stitch in the next, chain 1. We're in that corner chain 3 space, so I'm going to do a V-stitch, chain 2, and a V-stitch in that same corner chain 3, chain 1, V-stitch in the next, chain 3, chain 1, V-stitch in the next, chain 3, chain 1, V-stitch in the next, chain 1, V-stitch in the next, chain 1, V-stitch in the next, chain 1, and V-stitch in the last stitch. That's really starting to take shape. You're starting to see the pattern develop here. And again, you're just going to be repeating the last 2 rows that we did throughout until you reach the size that you want, ending off on a chain 3 row. And then I will come back and show you how to complete the edging on this. Alright, so once you have reached the desired size for your shawl, and you're ending on a row 4, so you're ending on a row where you're doing the chain 3s inside your V-stitch, we're going to do our final edging. And to do that, we're going to turn our work for our last row, and we're doing really just a very simple chain edging, and basically it's enough chains to get us around each one of these groupings of chain 3s, just to give it a little bit of extra there at the edge. Very simple. So go ahead and do a chain 1, and I'm going to bring this in just a little bit. Chain 1 there at the beginning, and you're going to go ahead and do a single crochet in that same stitch. Then we're going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and we're going to skip over that chain 3 inside that V-stitch. We're going to skip right over it, and we're going to do a single crochet in the next single crochet on the other side of it. Chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Skip over that chain 3 grouping, single crochet into the top of that next single crochet, chain 6, skip over that, single crochet in the top of that, single crochet, and let's take a look at what that looks like. So you see here that that chain dome is tall enough to enclose that chain 3 grouping that we did from that previous row. It sits right almost on top of it, enclosing it, just gives it a little more of a finished look on that edge, a little more of a frill. And that's as simple as it gets. You're just going to continue that all the way through the end of this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And doesn't that look pretty? So go ahead and continue on that row until you get to the end. Alright, so I have worked all the way down through that row, that same chain 6 single crochet around each one of these chain 3s, and now I've reached the end of my row. I've done my chain 6, skipping that last chain 3, and I'm going to single crochet in the last stitch. Go ahead and fasten off. You'll go ahead and weave in your ends, and there you have it. And I really like that edge there. Just super pretty, feminine, frilly, but so very simple. In fact, this whole shawl is just so easy. With simple stitch repeat, a lovely V-stitch, chain 3s, so we block those V-stitches off. It just really creates this very nice, beautiful shawl that's still very easy enough for any beginner. As always, I hope that this tutorial was helpful for you. If you like my video tutorials and would like to get notified whenever I post a new pattern or video or stitch tutorial, please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. My website is www.nanascraftyhome.com. That's where you can also find the free pattern for this shawl and many other free patterns as well. You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, and Instagram. If you ever have any questions about any of my patterns, please feel free to touch base with me in any of those avenues, and I will get back with you as soon as possible. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.